Hello, welcome back to Show Me Everything. James's suggestion was to change this episode's name to
Show Me Something.
And that is not due to the lack of content we have for you guys today because it's bursting at the seams. So today we're going to look at text border, Bezier node, a bit more about our live show that's coming up, and we want to chat through some user uses of Cartoon Moblur that's been really cool, and a review of Text Delay that's come out. And then we're going to get our boxing gloves on at the end.
Not literally, right?
James and I are going to fight.
You are. I'm going to watch.
I'm going to fight James.
Okay.
So here we go. So first off, we have Text Border, which has an amazing new release update, V1.5 as we call it. And James, how much is it?
$0 actually.
And in Spanish, that's free.
0 pesos.
0 pesos. So I'm going to hand over to James, and he's going to take us through all of the great new things that we've now included.
Here is Text Border, creating the border. And a really cool feature we now have is polygon mode, which draws a polygon, as you might imagine. So we can have up to 50 sides to this polygon.
Triangles included.
Yes, but you cannot lower this to 2 sides, otherwise that would crash the program.
Well, it's not a polygon.
No, I like 6. Hexagon is really cool.
Can you rotate it? Like so that square one?
You can, because the 4-sided one defaults to sort of a diamond, but you can rotate that 45 degrees to make it a square. Also, we have roundness, which is compatible with this polygon, so you could have a rounded hexagon if you please. You can also round it to 100%, which kind of makes a squircle, but you should just use the square function at 100% roundness, because that's going to make an actual circle.
It's a real life circle.
That's a real circle as opposed to the fake polygon circle.
It is as circular as 1 peso.
Oh, very good. I actually don't know if pesos are
They
square.
could be square.
They could be.
I don't know. I'm going to Google that.
Another cool feature that we've added in this, I'm just take the roundness off, is new gradient options. So we'll just enable the gradient here. We now have radial gradient. So that doesn't look like much. So there, now we can see the gradient. So not smooth, very smooth. And now we have gradient opacity. So you can change the start opacity or the end opacity.
That looks like a lozenge I would take for a sore throat.
I don't think it would have the hello world written on it. That would be a lozenge for a programmer. And that also is compatible with the global opacity here.
James, just in.
Yes.
Pesos are circular.
Oh, so what you said was correct and true. Because
Exactly.
we would never tell a lie on the show.
Never one lie.
Okay, so that is the new features for Text Border. As we said, that is going to be a free update, and these features will find their way into Text Box very soon.
Which is also free.
No, it's not. You just told a lie. Text Box you have to pay for.
Okay, one lie. That's it.
That's
Promise no more.
The quota used up for today.
Okay, so that is updates. Now we're going to move on to an update for Bezier node, which we showed last Show Me Everything episode.
Yes. Last week we showed it, and there were many of these parameters in here which I said were not working, but now they're working. Just for those who don't know, Bezier draws a very nice curve between 2 points, whereas that would normally be quite annoying to do. So we have at the axis, X or Y, you can draw it as such. Then we also have symmetrical, which is a checkbox, and then that will draw the second point relative to the other one. So if you had, your text up here and then it led to 2 things. But wait, there's more. You can add additional lines. So now there are 5 additional lines.
What is happening?
You could add 5,000. Oh, you can add 1,000.
Actually, the Taj Mahal was born. Add 5 lines, immediately become
the Taj Mahal. We should change this from Bezier to Taj Mahal generator.
Does that look like the Taj Mahal? Yeah, it's kind of.
And then let's go back to X. Okay, we have the butt or round style. We also have gradient fill, similar to what we just showed.
Yep.
Linear or radial.
And these are always proportionate. Like when you add more lines, these are always proportionate to that. Yeah, so they continue to adjust.
So if we added more, well, you can actually add negative lines. I think that's a mistake. But yeah.
Can we see what happens when you add negative lines?
Oh, it doesn't do anything.
Okay,
cool.
very disappointing. I thought the Matrix would just start rolling.
I wish. Okay, we have dash options, which is cool. You can
Very cool.
do dashes, change the length of those. I was thinking, actually, this is almost like a shower head generator if you went on y-axis.
Oh, nice. Can you animate the parameter of the dashes?
You can. So, ready for shower mode.
Could you give us an example, James?
Here we go. Well, that's inverted shower. Oh, you can only do inverted shower. You can't.
No, wind it all the way up and then go back.
Oh, right. Good idea, Dewey.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Shower.
And it's hot to cold. Or hot
Hot
to
to-
sewage.
Hot to radioactive.
Hot to nuclear.
But yeah, if you were doing a shower, you would want it less curved. You'd probably want it something like that.
Mm.
And then we also have trim paths. I'll just disable the dashes for now.
The shower.
Actually, that looks weird. The shower example will continue.
Yep.
Trim paths, trim amount, we have to enable it. And then,
Oh,
unfortunately, it's trimming them. Okay,
That's actually
this
kind
one,
of cool though.
yeah, this one needs a bit more work, but you get the idea. Everyone knows what trim paths does in After Effects.
But it's kind of cool that it's offset automatically.
Cool. It's
Like,
a cool
as in-
mistake.
it's a cool mistake. So what happens when you change the offset slider?
The offset slider will do it.
Oh,
like
the
that,
other
to
way.
the other
I like that mistake.
Thanks. I guess we might just release it like this then.
Yep.
Cool. Well, that's it.
There we
for
go.
Taj Mahal.
So is that it for everything Bezier Node that's been updated?
Yes, it's still a work in progress.
But it's out.
No, it's not out.
And when is it coming out?
When I fix my shit.
Okay. Okay, so that's it for our 2 updates this week. What we're going to look at now is our live show, which is very exciting. So the show is called This Is Everything. We're obviously trying to keep the everything as a common theme. Marketing is our...
It's your forte.
Is my
I
forte.
had to say out
I
of
know.
it.
It's usually out of it.
That was a Digby idea.
It's a smart thing. So what we're going to be doing is in the next couple of weeks, we'll be releasing our first list of the first 5 interviews. Can't tell you right now who they are, but it's going to be very exciting.
And they're a pretty big deal.
They are a pretty big deal. James and I were just fangirling before we went, well, it's not really live today, but before we started recording this about how we followed all these people as younger versions of ourselves with less facial hair.
I still have 0 facial.
You still have 0 facial. It's okay. I've been growing this beard for like 6 years.
Okay. Cool.
So it's very exciting for us to be able to talk through with each of these people individually and find out about where they've been, where they've come from, what they're doing, and what the future looks like for them in the industry. I want to talk through just super quickly the segments that the show is going to cover. So it'll be split into 5 segments. The first segment will just be a quick welcome from James and myself. The second segment is when we'll be bringing the interviewee into the conversation, so they'll join in live, and we'll ask them a couple of questions like, how did you get to be doing what you do day to day? Tell us the biggest achievement in your career, some of the industry challenges that you've had to overcome, and then on the way to what's next, where are you going, and do you have a dream big statement for people watching today's live show?
Yeah.
That'll then fold into segment 3, which is this, we're calling This Is Your Floor, where we give the person we're interviewing a chance to ask us any questions, which could be very interesting.
Oh, and also, you guys can send in the questions, with this being a live stream.
This being a live stream, which is probably one of the greatest features of doing live streams through Facebook, is as we're going, I'll be making sure, and James will be, that any questions you guys are firing through that we're answering live. So it's very exciting. Like Wallace and Gromit, you know, they do that little... Looks very sexual actually now that I'm doing it.
Don't do that, actually.
Don't do this. I take that back. It'll go into segment 4, which we're calling This Is Our Code. So we're going to look at what's a current problem that the person we're talking with is having in their workflow. Something you feel that might be tedious that could be sped up. Then we're going to do a show and tell screen share with the person we're interviewing, where they can show us what they're experiencing and how they think it could be better, and a little bit of a brainstorm session with us and them, which would be really cool, sort of...
Create a plugin in real time in 1 minute.
Exactly, which James has been practicing to do. So it will happen live. And then segment 5 is pretty much the wrap up. So we'll say goodbye. We'll put any links into the comments that you need, and we'll give you any further information on the person we've been chatting with. And that'll be it.
Cool.
So that list will be coming out in the next few weeks. So make sure you keep a lookout for that.
Or if you want to be on that list, make sure you get super famous and good at After Effects, and then we'll put you on the list.
And if you are already super famous and happen to be watching this, and we haven't got in touch with you yet, drop a line to hello@plugineverything.com, and we'd love to hear from you. The going rate for people on the show is $1 billion.
They pay us or we pay them?
We pay them $1 billion.
Oh, cool. That's good value.
Yeah. Our accountant has recently got in touch and said that may not be the best idea financially, but if you listen to everyone that was always talking about money, where would you be?
Probably better off than where we are.
And we'll leave you with that comment from James.
Very sober thought.
Okay, so that is... I've forgotten the name of our live show already. This is everything. Now we're going to move on to a couple of user cool things. So James is going to pull up something cool with that Fraser Davidson from Cub Studio has done using Cartoon Moblur. Now this is a little piece of a larger bit of creative work where you can see Cartoon Moblur being used in the run cycle and also on some of the text animation. He's also thrown a nice little shout out to myself and James. By proxy, it's James. James is just James. There's no Digby by proxy.
Yeah.
And a link to where you can find Cartoon Moblur. So thank you, Fraser.
Used by only the very best artists.
That's correct. So if you're not a good artist, don't buy it. Don't open it.
We'll refund you. We don't want you using our product.
Send an email to imnotagoodArtist@plugineverything.com and we'll get your refund right on the way. Fraser, James and I have had our eye on Fraser's work for quite a long time. As in when we were, again, had less facial hair than we do now. He made this amazing piece called A Guide to American Football, which I have used as reference for so many projects and absolutely love the way that he uses transitions, the character animation, the texturing, and his cameras in here. It's really, really freaking cool. I'll put the link in the comment section below and you guys can have a watch. And feel free to check out Cub Studio and Fraser's work because those guys are
the best.
Up next, we're going to be looking at some more work that was done with Cartoon Moblur from one of our favorites, Gavin Strange. He did a creative piece for the film festival out of Amsterdam, which James has got loaded up here for us.
It's like meant to be on multiple monitors.
It is. It was on 10 monitors or 10K. So it was a 360 degree experience. And this was one part of it. And then on other screens, he had different elements that were playing that were complementary to this animation. Lots of instances of Cartoon Moblur being used. Gavin, you have done a stellar job, mate. Every time we watch this animation, we can just see the blood, sweat and tears that was poured into this. So after that is one more, which is a wonderful review done by our favourite Clay Ashbury. Ashbury?
Actually, it's spelled Clay Asbury.
Asbury. Okay. He has done a review on text delay, and he's also doing video reviews on the other suite of our plugins that are on AE Scripts /AE plugins. The first one he's done is text delay, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. It's short and sweet and to the point. Have a look. It tells the good, bad, and the ugly of text delay. And a big shout out to Clay for doing that one. We really appreciate you having a look into the work that we create.
As a consolation, everyone, in this review, you'll notice that text delay is $20. We've gone ahead and given a 5-cent discount because we just felt really generous today. So
actually, it's all because of Clay.
All because of Clay, it's now 5 cents off.
And that extra 5 cents we'll be donating directly to charity.
We may not be doing that.
We won't be doing that. I'm sorry. But yes, 5 cents off. It's a huge announcement today from Plugin Everything and our team here. We're very excited. And finally, it's a little bit of a personal wrap up for this episode today. I had my first boxing fight yesterday.
And you're still alive.
I am still alive. I think my nose is like slightly crooked, and I busted can you see that? Like the red dot in my eye?
You have red dots there and there. I just thought you were tired.
No, that's I think like a burst vessel in my eye.
Oh, you got punched right in the pupil.
Yeah, right. He finger punched me in the pupil. So James will cut to a photo of a moment from yesterday's fight club. Which is me essentially taking one for the team. And as I was telling this story to James, he brought up a moment that a video that he'd found from a director called Boll, and he's a director who was making films, and he was taking games and doing a film adaptation of it. And there was all these haters that wanted him to stop and were saying you're horrible and you suck. And he said, okay, I'll fight you if you're one of my worst critics. And so essentially all these critics from all over the world accepted his challenge, and what they didn't know was he was actually a professional boxer. And so he got into the ring with all of these people, different shapes and sizes, some small and thin, some large and fat, some fit, some not. And
mostly not.
Mostly not, and absolutely obliterated these people, which is freaking hilarious. So we've put the link in the comment section as well. It's 20 minutes, but it's worth a laugh. And I was also thinking that maybe I could fight you, Boll.
Oh, I thought you were just going to fight the people who didn't like our plugins.
I will also do that.
Yeah, because if you have a problem with our plugins, don't send in a support ticket, fight Digby instead. If you win, then we might address your qualms.
Well, no, if you win, we'll address your qualms.
Okay, we will.
If you don't,
then you can
just fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's essentially where we want to leave you guys from today's episode. It's been great having you all here on this sunny day in Brisbane. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, but please fight Digby. He needs a bit of practice, so the more the merrier.
That's true. My nose needs to go back this way.
Oh yeah, punch it back in place.
Yeah. So we look forward to any comments and not death threats, but just general threats.
Yeah, just threats to fight
are definitely welcome. So that's it from us today at Plugin Everything. As James has always said, and that I have completely 100% fraudulently stolen, buy our plugins, buy them all.